One of those highly anticipated transfers that many people are really keeping track onto is the transfer of Antoine Semenyo. And now, I know why all of you might be asking yourself, why hasn't it come to materialization? I know it's really a very big question from you guys, because indeed it has to be done. And remember, his release clause has what we call an expiry date, and that is the 10th of June. With today being 10th of January. With today being the 3rd of January, that means we are left with 7 days for his release clause to obviously expire. And if at all it expires, I think it won't be needing £65 million. That will obviously hand the authority back to the club to obviously come up and obviously put in a very huge shift in there for you. So smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. We're also going to be letting you know about Declan Rice, and that is really going to be very important to note, you the people, or the viewers of this beautiful channel of ours, known as the Rokani Media Football. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit 28,000 subscribers. And when I check here, we are left with just 70 subscribers to hit 28,000. So please go into the lower left bottom corner, smash it, and after smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. Now, Team Talk has told us the following, that Antoine Semenyo's transfer is temporarily delayed after Bournemouth and coach Andoni Arayola won the standoff. Despite being frustrated and eager to leave, he could still play versus Arsenal and Tottenham. He won't refuse if selected. So, the player is playing against Arsenal today. No one doubts it. He's coming in through to obviously face off with the Gunners today. And the manager was like, I'm holding this transfer because I'm having two important transfers that I need to obviously come up and really put out a very, 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 very huge shift for my team to come up and obviously maybe excel. When you look at Bournemouth, how they've gone ahead to obviously look, they've not been looking bad this season, and they've just played Chelsea and they drew with Chelsea 2-2 in there, and they're really playing against Arsenal. And remember, Arsenal played Aston Villa, and Aston Villa had just gone ahead to wallop Chelsea at their home, and guess what happened to them? When they played Arsenal, Arsenal beat them by 4-1. You understand? Now, this guy is being all held by the manager because he needs him in the 2 games before his deadline really comes to an end. And what are those games? It's Arsenal today and Tottenham Hotspur on the 7th, meaning that he can play those 2 games and then they sell him. That is it. So, we are waiting to see how things pan out, but he's available for the game of Arsenal. But teams in need of this player are Man City, Liverpool, and Manchester United. For Arsenal, the player would want to obviously see himself playing for the club of Arsenal, but the problem is Arsenal looks like they're not interested into a deal of this stature in here onto our channel known as the Rokani Media Football. So that's all about Antoine Semenyo, but the delay is real and it is really gonna be happening anytime from now. But the manager, I think went ahead to obviously convince, he went ahead to convince the board that please let us not let him go now because we need to do the needful. And exactly the needful is this. Now, let's go to Arsenal and the man that had a swollen knee who required a late fitness test to see whether he features for the game of today. And yesterday night, We had a story from hand of Arsenal. You know, this is really a close source to the club of Arsenal. And he's a fly on the walls of Arsenal. He always gives us latest news and information as far as everything is concerned. He has told us that Declan Rice traveled with Arsenal squad for the game that is today. The England international pushed all day to play against Villa earlier this week, but fell just short. Decision to be made today in there. And again, we have the Arsenal correspondent for the Standard, that is S.R. Collins. He has told us that, he now reports for the Sun. He no longer works for the Standard. He's an Arsenal correspondent for the Sun. He told us that Declan Rice has traveled with Arsenal squad to Bournemouth, joined the squad on their usual pre-game walk this morning too. So, Declan Rice is there, and it's up to the manager on whether to choose him or not. And that's exactly what we've gone ahead to get. So the lad is really doing great, and I really love what he's really putting out onto the fight for us not to win the trophy. Remember, when you go to the Champions League, he's really doing well, and in the Premier League, he's really doing well. And he's among the top 3 players rated to win the Ballon d'Or. And it's on his side. If Declan Rice manages, to come up and obviously put out a very huge shift in the Champions League, and maybe they lift it, and he goes to the World Cup and really guides England to maybe win it, because I've already gone ahead to make my prediction. It's either Brazil, England, or Spain. I think those 3 countries, there is one that will obviously come up and really lift the World Cup. I'll give you my reasons when the World Cup I'll really give you a build-up. And that build-up will obviously come up with a lot of information in here. So, Declan Rice doesn't want to miss out on any game. That's what he's really doing. He doesn't want to miss out on any game. And he wants to participate in every activity that Arsenal really does to see to it that he really puts in a very huge shift. Now, if Declan Rice is past fit, and the manager thinks that he's really fit to play, if he's to start, then Merino gets out of the equation. That is it. I think Merino gets out of the equation, and now it will be Raya in goal, Ben White right back, left back, Pierre Hincapi, / Lewis Kelly, central defense, Gabriel Magalhaes, and a player called William Saliba, Zubimendi, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, then Noni Madueke, Ebelechi Eze, and Gabriel Jesus. That would be my starting 11. But it will now depend on to the manager on who he thinks can come up and obviously put out a very huge shift. But if I'm Arteta, I don't start Declan Rice. That is it. I don't start him. I don't start him. If I'm Arteta, I don't start him. I don't start Declan Rice. If I'm Mikel Arteta, I don't start Declan Rice. I can bring him on to obviously play in for the last 20 minutes. That is it. But if he has just gone ahead to really suffer from a solid knee, then I see no need of really rushing him back, because the next game is the most important game of it all. The game of Liverpool, I think that's where Arsenal need this guy a lot. That's when Arsenal need this guy a lot. You understand? So, we wait and see how the manager will obviously come up with this. But it's going to be a highly heated up game. In the next 1 hour, we'll be really bringing you the confirmed starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. And Bournemouth will be streaming live. And then later, the match reaction will follow in thereafter. So, that is it for now. Here onto the Rokani Media Football. And your reactions to Semenyo transfer delay explained, with Declan Rice available for the game of Bournemouth. In here onto the Rokani Media Football, do us proud by continuing to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video to this channel. That's why you miss out on some stories, because you never turned on the notification bell. But if you want to obviously be given all the information, not miss out on anything that we've gone ahead to upload in here, you have to hit the notification bell, and after hitting it, that will enable you get notified every upload we put up onto this beautiful YouTube channel of ours. Thank you very much for watching through. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. This is the channel that does all football teams apart from Manchester United. If you want Man United, the home is United Matters channel. You can find us that side. I'm out. Bye-bye and see you later.